All right, what's up, guys? We're back with another one here. So finally, I know we had to wait almost a full week, but the first Street Fighter 6 tier list out of Japan by the pro players is out. So Topanga just put out a list with Mago, Tokido, and Gachikun. So I'll share it with you real quick. There it is. If you just want to see it and then leave, I won't blame you, but that's the list. Now, they didn't just put it out. It's not just, you know, like a Twitter clickbait. Let's just put out this list. They spent 2 hours on their stream breaking down each character one by one. So I watched the whole thing. It's in Japanese. I translated it all. So today I'm going to go through each individual character one by one and tell you their thoughts right now. To give you maybe a better feel. Before we go into it, though, I do want to say that this tier list is based on their current standings, okay? There's a lot of doomers, a lot of people on Twitter say, my character sucks, she's horrible in this game. They're saying currently, right? This list is their field at the moment. Of course, characters can go up, they can go down. It's just what they've experienced in this first week. And one other thing, too, again, in case you don't want to watch the whole thing, is that the S tier has 5 characters, but they are only 5 because they wanted to make the top 5. The actual S tier, the actual breakdown for them at the moment is Luke, Guile are top 2 in their own. They're in their own tier. Juri's behind them in 3, and then Ken, Dee Jay are a little bit below. So I guess the S tier is ordered. The S tier you can say is ordered, but there you go. All right, with that, I'm gonna start breaking down everybody one by one. So if you like this stuff, you like Street Fighter, hit the sub button. Let's go. Come on, man. I spent 2 hours watching this and taking notes. At least you can do is sub. All right, so let's just go from top to bottom, right? There'll be timestamps so you can skip around. Let's just go top to bottom. So Luke. When they talked about Luke, they said he smells like $1 million. The quote was, if you are serious about getting that money, you should be playing Luke. So that's how highly they rank Luke. He's got everything you need, right? He's got every tool you need. He's a balanced character, so he's no bad matchups. They said from the very first day, from like the demo, from the second they touched Luke, they're like, this character's a monster. They thought if Luke is not a top tier character, once the game releases, then Street Fighter 6 is going to be a crazy game. Like if there are characters that are way better than Luke, this game's going to be wild. But literally, there's nothing bad about Luke. They also mentioned the Street Fighter League. There's something like 7 or 8 Lukes in Street Fighter League. So all of the pro players in Japan, all the guys going for the million are playing Luke. Best character in the game. There you go. He wins again. Luke wins again. Next up is Guile. So Guile, again, it was in the same tier as Luke. Like those are like the top 2. Mago said like without a doubt, just seeing this character just on paper and then just touching him is like, this character is just, he's top tier. He's got everything you need in this game. Of course, he got nerfed from the beta to release, but his core gameplay is so strong. His buttons are so strong, and they feel like even as strong as he is now, the Guile players are still not even using the game mechanics, right? They're still not even maximizing the game system mechanics, like the drive rush and everything. So he's got room to grow even more. There was a question. So Mago said there's one issue though. The only issue with Guile is that all the Guile pros are not playing him. He's a very rare character for some reason. Mago was like, maybe he's not top tier, and then something changed his mind. Who was it? He watched Knuckle do. So Mago watched Knuckle do, Tokido watched Knuckle do. They're like, this character's top. He's top. Knuckle do convinced them that he's still top 5. They're like, oh, Knuckle do is a monster. Knuckle do is a monster there. The only somewhat weakness he has is DI. That's it. The only thing is like he a little bit susceptible to DI, but he can play around it. But he's like top 2. Number 3 is Juri. So Juri, Mago's playing Juri now. So Juri's top. They say she probably has like the strongest ground game. So it's Chun-Li and Juri. Their ground game, their footsie game is the best. Like just the buttons and the range and the walk speed. Like she's the best on the ground. That's without even using her fireballs. You know, her fireball system allowing her to get in is even stronger. All around monster. Her drive rush is incredible. The speed on her drive rush is only second to Dee Jay. So she's an absolute monster. The only weakness though that Mago feels is that she does have issues with fireball characters. So that's the separation. Luke and Guile have no weaknesses. They can deal with anything. Juri is 1 below because she does have problems with fireball characters. So she'll lose to Luke and she'll lose to Guile. That's why she's 1 below, but she's top tier. She's top tier as well. Just has everything you need. Next up is Ken. Ken is Tokido, like this character is very good. Tokido definitely believes in Ken. So of course, he's a close range monster. You know, he's a close range monster. Everybody knows that already, but Dragon Lash. A lot of people tried to downplay Dragon Lash. That's the forward moving kick that puts him right in your range and makes him plus. It's a very, very good move. Of course, on paper, you can react, right? Of course, on paper, you can react and watch it, but he's got fireball, he's got drive rush, he's got low pokes, he's got so many tools to get in. If you just wait and look for Dragon Lash, he'll get in with a different way. So it's a very Very, very good tool. The stand medium kick, the target combo, very, very strong. His stand roundhouse, very, very strong. You know, on punish counter, he gets like the full combo, the full corner carry right there. So Tokido used to play Ken. Tokido used to play Ken. He plays Luke now. Tokido said, when I was playing Ken, I thought he was A tier. But now that I'm playing Luke, I think he's S tier. So Tokido himself said he thinks Ken is probably up there in the S tier. And then the last one in the S tier is Dee Jay, of course. Just to remind you, they originally had Dee Jay and Ken in the A tier, but they moved them up because they wanted to make the top 5. So Dee Jay, very, very tricky character. The interesting thing that Mago said, he said he thinks it's optimal to play Dee Jay not as a charge character. Dee Jay's kit, his drive rush, his buttons, his mix-ups are so strong that you should think of his charge moves as like a bonus. It's like, oh, if you're full screen, okay, throw out a fireball, right? But don't try and play him like Guile. He's got a different play style in his game. His combo damage is the highest in the game. He's like, it's probably tied with Marisa when it comes to just output for combo damage, thanks to his like the EX launcher he's got right there. He's got the best drive rush in the game. It's a teleport. They called it a warp. They're like, what is this? Right now, they put him in A tier, but like I said, they moved him to S, but Mago thinks he can still get stronger. So Mago feels potential. Even though he's already strong, Mago's like, I feel like he can get even stronger. The one thing holding him back, though, is that his neutral game is a bit unique. So Guile and Luke are just all-around well-rounded monsters. Dee Jay's a bit more unique, a bit more specific in his neutral game. So it's like, to really maximize him, you're gonna have to be kind of good there. But yeah, that's it. That's the S tier. All right, let's move down. So now on the A tier, so Chun-Li, like I said earlier, tied with Juri with the strongest ground game. Just her buttons are stand medium punch, stand fierce, whatever, like even the stand jab. Her ground buttons are ridiculous, along with the walk speed. So her ground game is super strong. Her combo damage is big too off the right hits. The one weakness that they felt though is her anti-airs are a little lacking. So she has with stand medium kick, she's got like the stand medium kick anti-air, but she also has the down anti-air. Was a Tensho kyak or whatever. But the issue with the down is in Street Fighter 6, you can walk in DP, right? Because of the input shortcuts, you can walk in DP. But the down requires 2 clean down inputs, not down forward. So when you're walking on the ground and you jump, she has to stop, press down. So anti-ing with her is actually a bit harder than with DP characters, they said. She also doesn't have a throw loop. So she does not have a throw loop, which is big in this game. And then she's A tier now, but she's very difficult. Maybe one of the most difficult characters in the game to play well. Like even Sako said that she's difficult. They rate her very highly. They just think at the moment she's A, but has potential to go to S because she has like all the tools she needs. Next up is JP. So JP is funny. That was like the first character they did. Mago said JP is the character that's winning the most he's the easiest to win with character, and he's winning the most right now. So Mago's like, I want to put him at S tier. I want to put him at top 1 at S tier. But people are unfamiliar with the matchup. So right now he's beating everybody, but recently players are getting better at dealing with him and learning counter strategies. So that's why they put him in A. And they're like, he's got the potential to go down even more. Like they're like, there's potential that he's gonna, because he's so specific, there's potential that people are really gonna get good at fighting him, and he might even become harder to win with at high level. But at the moment, like I said earlier, this is just at the moment. At the moment, he's strong and he's A tier. And yeah, just like they said too, he's a monster at long range, but like mid-range and close up, he can start to get bodied. They did mention, they talked about how good his counter is, but again, they feel that like his mid and close range are good, but it's not as good as other characters. It's better than like Sim, but they're hesitating. They're thinking maybe the download's gonna happen. We'll see. And then Honda in A tier. So it's really funny. I think everybody's experienced the same thing. So Honda, of course, right now is murdering everybody. But the thing that they talked about, this is not week 1 shenanigans. They're like, this is not just Honda's headbutt spam, like beating everybody week 1. They're like, this character's actually good. They're like, this is scary. Honda's actually good. So the headbutt, of course, is good. The butt slam is the strongest it's ever been. They're like 35 years of Street Fighter. This is probably the strongest the butt slam has ever been. So Honda's problem in old Street Fighters is that he couldn't make a comeback. So it was like, if you got the life lead against Honda and then turtled, he really couldn't get in. He couldn't do anything. So it was almost like a checkmate situation. But in this game, he's got drive rush. He can drive rush in stand fierce or stand roundhouse, and now he's +5. So now he can either go for command grab or a meaty. So he can make those comeback situations. That's something he was lacking forever. Mago wants to put him in S. That's how scary Honda is right now. He's like, I want to put Honda in S tier. He's like, I really want to put him in S tier, but his buttons are a bit bad. Like his pokes and long range buttons are kind of slow, and people are getting better at dealing with the headbutt. So he's going to keep him down in A. But Honda is very real. This is not a gimmick character. I'm scared. If the pros are saying Honda's good, that makes me very scared. Maybe I should just play Honda. All right, now we're going down into the B tier. Now we're going down in the B tier here. All right, next up is Marisa in the B tier. So Mago said the most common character right now is Luke, and the second most common character is Marisa. So everybody's playing Marisa. She has a lot of strong moves. So it's like she's got a lot of really, really strong moves, but they don't work together because they're all really slow, right? They're all kind of the same thing, just like slow startup, big, heavy swingers. So her combo damage is really, really high, but her buttons are kind of lacking a little bit. She's also very, very susceptible to jump-ins. So she's very, very weak to jump-ins right now. So characters that are like the top tier, the characters that are good can just kind of stay on top of her and just rush her down, just jump, and take her out right there. They don't think she's bad. It's just like, can I put her above JP? Is like, not at the moment. They use kind of JP as like the A judging stick. So he's like, yeah, she's good, but I'm not going to put her above JP. She was the first B tier character. The tiers aren't ordered. The only ordered is S. S is ordered. Nothing else is ordered. Ryu's next. Ryu bros, I'm sorry. They literally were like, we can talk about Ryu in 10 seconds. Like, Ryu's strong. He's got all the tools he needs, but that's it. He's got nothing special. And people have been fighting Ryu for 35 years, right? They've been fighting for 35 years. So everybody's used to fighting Ryu. Nothing really scary, just solid character. They're like, if someone's good with Ryu, they can win. They can do well with Ryu, but it just... They've been saying this since the beta, by the way. Or the demo. They've been saying this since the demo. It's like, Luke and Ryu, it's like, just pick Luke. Luke's got everything Ryu has and more. But... yeah, Ryu is nothing fancy, just solid character. Yeah, it was 10 seconds, 10 seconds. Ryu breakdown. Manon right here. Manon is interesting. They said Manon's probably the strongest grappler. Well, I guess there's only three. But they said Manon's probably the strongest grappler right now. They talked about the strategy of just giving up. It's called stege, where you throw away the round. So just throwing away the round to build up medals, right? So if you're behind, if you're down, you just go Hail Mary with command grabs. Or you do crappy combos just to get the charge up your medal. So you're like, I lost the round, but I got 3 stocks. So the medals carrying over is really, really, really powerful. It's a really, really strong feature for her. I know Punk was saying the same thing, right? It's like throwing away the rounds just to build up stocks is super cheap. So that's really strong right there. Her pokes are really good. They can't be canceled, right? So her long range pokes can't be canceled, but they're really good to just kind of poke, annoy. They also think right now, so they put her down there at B right now, but because she has a very kind of specific game plan and she's kind of like high risk, high reward, she might be able to move up. They didn't say move down. They're like, she might be stronger. But at the moment, she's pretty solid. I was surprised when they said her pokes are good. I got to give her another try because I didn't think her pokes are good at all. But they're like, her pokes are good. Her long range buttons are good. But yeah, they feel potential with Manon. All right, next up is Kimberly. So Kimberly was S tier. Mago's like, she was S tier in the demo, the betas. Everybody was running Kimberly. Everybody was running setups. Everybody was just destroying everybody with Kimberly. But recently, the players have gotten better at fighting her, dealing with the mix-ups. She also got nerfed from, if you don't know, she got nerfed from the beta to the console. So the nerfs, plus people getting better at fighting her, she moved down a little bit to B tier. She has the God button. Her 5K is really good, but that's it. They're like, she has problems in like long range because her buttons are a bit stubby. So she can like rush in, you know, she got tools to rush in and get in, but players are getting better dealing with it. So it's hard for her to get in. I disagree, but that's what they said. Yeah, they like her stand media kicks, the best in the game, they say, because her and Jamie are the only characters that really have cancelable. Did I say 5K? Anime's count. Stand medium kicks is what I'm talking about. But they say her stand medium kick is the best in the game because it's cancelable along with Jamie, but hers is 8 frames and Jamie's is 10 frames. So it's like night and day. Her range is also longer. They said she's the scariest character up close. Point blank, she's the scariest character up close, but she's got a little bit of difficulty getting there. And then her elbow drop too. They also talked about the power of her elbow drop is very, very good. But Mago also said a lot of us, like veterans, know how to deal with the elbow drop. The guy elbow drop in the air to change the trajectory is really, really strong because like a lot of us, at least we know how to fight that. So we're convenient. But yeah, I was surprised. I don't think she's beat there at all. She's definitely messing me up. All right, next up, Blanka. Blanka, this is funny. So Blanka's in the B tier. Mago admitted, I don't really know Blanka right now because he's the most rare character. They say he's probably the rarest character for them. There's like almost no Blanka experience. Him and Dhalsim. They talked about how you can't parry the ball. You can't parry his ball. So Honda, they mentioned one of his weaknesses of people are being able to parry the headbutt. You can't parry Blanka's ball, so you have to use other attacks to knock it out of the air right there. They admit they don't really know, but the funny thing is, so Mago put him at C. Gachikun was like, no, bro, he's A. So they ended up coming up with like a consensus and they just put him in B. They're like, all right, we'll just put him in B. But at the moment, they feel like he's annoying. They're like, he feels like he's annoying, but they haven't seen the big tech yet. But he's a very tricky character in this game, so he's got potential. So who knows? At the moment, B. If Street Fighter 6, if like Blanka and Honda are like top I'm out. I'm going back to Melty Blood. We can't have that. Sorry, Blanka fans. They don't have any big tech for you. They're like, we don't know. All right, next up, Cammy. So Cammy's in B tier. They said it's funny. The reason why she's in B tier is because all the Cammy players are leaving. So all the Japanese Cammy players are dropping her. They're like, we don't think she's bad. We just think the Cammy players, their expectations are too high. Because Cammy in 5 was like top forever, right? So like, she's not as strong in 5 and 6. So they're all like playing like doomers, right? They're like, oh, she's worthless. So a lot of them are bouncing. Even like Akira, who's like the top one, he's looking for a reason to leave. They say right now she's got a lot of really, really fun tools. The thing is, a lot of it's not real, right? So a lot of her mix-ups, a lot of her tools, you can just like jab or just interrupt. So Cammy players are winning right now by not mixing them up, but like tricking them. It's like tricking people with high speed. It's like they're playing really, really fast and doing a lot of high speed stuff, and the opponent can't keep up, but it's not real. So the players that actually know how to fight it, know how to interrupt it, and aren't falling for the tricks, the Cammy players are having a hard time dealing with that. But they don't think she's weak. Again, like I said, this is just at the moment. They said the Cammy players are leaving, but the Cammy players that stick around and develop her, the fact that she's so fast and the fact she's got buttons, they feel like, you know, solid Cammy play, she definitely has the potential to move up. So at the moment, B, but they feel like she could be stronger. She's a character that they feel potential in. It's not, you can't say Japan. The Cammy players in the West, not just America, all around, they're all dooming. This character stinks, man. No damage, no mix-up. So next up, all right, down in the C tier. So next up is Zangief. All right, Zangief has a lot of good buttons. They called him gorilla buttons. Like, he's got gorilla buttons. Gorilla, they said gorilla. Really, really strong tools. Really, really like good buttons to swing, but they're all susceptible to DI. So he's weak to DI, right? So he's weak to DI with those good buttons. So like you can play, you know, it's like you can try and play around DI and just wait for it, but then that's not the point, right? Because he's got to get in. So if Zangief is playing a weird like mid-range wait for DI game, he's not playing his actual strategy, which is get in. So of course, up close, Zangief is a monster. He's really, really strong, but it's hard for him to get in. And then the fact that in Street Fighter 6 now, after command grabs, you don't get Oki, right? Command grab is just big damage, but not a situation. So it's like he gets the damage, and now you reset the situation. He's got to struggle to get back in. They also mentioned, like, I don't know how he's going to compete against a character like JP, you know? He may move up, but right now his neutral feels really weak. And also they talked about his lariat. So the double lariat anti-air does not hit cross-up. They showed how weak, I didn't know that. They said if you fight against Zangief, jump. The double lariat does not hit cross-up. So even though he's spinning and twirling his arm, it doesn't hit behind. So they were just jumping and they were showing like, yeah, he's very, very susceptible to cross-ups there. On the other hand, though, it's active the whole time. So they show that it's hard to punish lariat. If you block it standing, you'll get hit by the second hit. So they're like, you got to punish with like a crouching move or something. But yeah, they don't feel like Zangief is that strong. But he's got potential. Who knows? And Jamie. All right, so Jamie is in C tier. Jamie's in C tier because Zero Drink Jamie is very, very weak. They're like, this is the way he's designed. They're like, base Jamie is a very weak character. He's got to drink to unlock. But they did spend a long time on Jamie. They showed all his stuff. So he does get stronger, right? He does get stronger as he drinks. By the way, Mago wanted to put him in D. Mago thought about putting him in D, but they ended up moving up to C. Very, very weak base. He needs to drink to get stronger. Mago said he's happy. Mago was like, I'm very happy though that Jamie is a weak character because Jamie has the 4 like toxic moves in his character. So what are they? He's got a dive kick. So in Street Fighter, he's like the 4 most hated moves. He's got a dive kick, a very strong dive kick too, because it air to air as well. So he's got a dive kick, he's got a command grab, he's got a Rekka, and he's got a lunge punch. So like he's got 4 of the most like hated moves in Street Fighter, like very, very, very strong tools. But you have to lock, they're locked away. They're like, if he had them at all the times, it'd be over, right? This character would be wild, right? Mago's happy about that. They say, you know, once he starts drinking, gets strong, you know, he becomes a strong character, but he still has problems with range. So that's an issue. There's like, even with the drinks, the range on his jab changes, but the other buttons are still a bit, they lose to like the top tier. So it's not like, oh, once he drinks 4 drinks, best character in the game. He still kind of is like, he's good without a doubt, but he struggles. But the fact he's got to drink, that makes him weak. They also said it's like, they're like, man, Jamie players must be really upset because Manon gets to keep her medals, right? Manon gets to keep her medals, but then it's like, nah, but if Jamie got to keep his drinks, it would be over because of that, like the 4 moves we talked about. But yeah, they feel like Jamie is going to take some development as well. They didn't say he's got potential. They're not like, oh, might be a hidden top tier. They just like, it's going to take some work for the Jamie players to develop in. And also, I hope he doesn't get buffed. If Jamie is strong one day, it's over, boys. You got to deal with that, all your favorite stuff. And now let's go to the D tier. All right, so D tier is Sim and Lily. So Sim, again, they want to reiterate, this is just at the moment. This is at the moment. So Sim is, they said, first of all, we don't really know. Second of all, there's no Sim players, right? A lot of Sim players are moving. 3 is like, of course. So in 5 Sim is good at zoning. He's also good up close, right? Like up close and at mid-range. In 6, of course, he's good at zoning, but he's not good up close. He's not good at mid-range. Stand medium kick, that used to be one of his main pokes, is not cancelable. So drive impact will just blow it up. His buttons up close don't combo unless it's on counter hit a lot of times. They're like, at the moment, he just feels annoying. He doesn't feel scary. He just feels annoying and not really, really strong. They said, of course, though, a very technical character like this needs some time. So he might have room to grow, but at the moment, he does not seem strong. At the moment, he does not seem strong. Mr. Crim's #1 rank, World Ice Sim. Beating up European players on that play to farm points doesn't really mean much. I hate to break it to you guys. And then last one, my girl, I hate to see it, Lily. They said Lily is kawaii soul. That means like sad. They're like, oh, she's a very sad character. She's a very sad character right now. The thing about Lily is that she needs her stocks, right? It's like she can't do anything without stocks. So she has to get the stock. And then when she uses it, it goes away. So she's got to get it again. She got to spend her whole game trying to get the stock just to compete. And then once she has the stock, her gameplay is too simple. It's too simple and it's too straightforward. So it's like T-Hawk, they said like T-Hawk used to be able to play like that without the stock. They're like, T-Hawk can do it without the stocks, but Lily's got to get stocks to play. It's like, what the heck? So yeah, they feel like she's weak. She has no reversal as well. Like if you don't know, her EX DP is not a reversal. It's just fast. It's 4 frames and it's like throw invul. It's just like she's a very sad character. Just very, very simple, very straightforward. And then they couldn't figure out if Lily's T-Hawk's daughter. They don't know the lore. They were like, is she T-Hawk's daughter? Like, we don't know. She's something. She related, maybe. I don't know. But they're not impressed with Lily. They didn't say anything. They weren't like, oh, she got room to grow. She's got potential. They were like, she seems very sad right now. But again, Lily enjoys. This is only for top tier. If you're a modern Lily fan like me, stick with it. Simple is best. Simple is best. But yeah, there you go. That's it. That's the whole list. Just to reiterate, Luke and Guile are top 2. For this list, even though there's 5 characters in the S tier, Luke and Guile in their tier their own right now because they have no weaknesses. They have no weaknesses. They're super well-rounded. They can fight the entire cast. They're top 2. Juri's 1 below. She's really, really strong, but has trouble with Fireball. And then DJ Ken are below her. That's their top 5 right now. This is also based on the current standings, right? They didn't rank. They didn't think, oh, yo, Sim has got potential. Let's move him up. They said right now, Sim is not scary. We're putting him down here. He's got room to grow, though. When he grows, we'll change it there. This is also, I will stand by this list because it was, like I said, it's about 2 hours. They broke down every single character. They showed it in game. They explained their thoughts. So this is a proper list. This is not just like, all right, here's some throw together in 3 minutes on Tier Maker and put it up on Twitter, get a couple retweets. I think this is the first real solid thought out tier list, but we'll see. There's plenty. We're going to see, we're going to look at this in probably 2 months and be like, what the hell were they smoking? Lily's the best character in the game. What the hell were they smoking? I got no idea. But yeah, let me know. What do you think? Any characters that you really disagree with? Anything that surprised you on this list? For me, I got no idea. I just know I knew Guile was strong. I knew Guile was strong without a doubt. I think my biggest surprise, no, never mind. No, actually nothing. I was going to say, I'm surprised Ryu's so low, but he's not really low, He's solid mid in the B tier. The B tier, by the way, also before we close out, last thing, but the B tier, they didn't really have anything negative to say. So from C and D, that's when they started being like, all these characters kind of weak, but the B tier, they still hyped up. So being above looks good. But that's it for this one. A bit long. If you watched the whole thing, I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed. But yeah, like always, like Street Fighter, leave a comment, sub, all that good stuff. I'll see you next one. Peace.